Hello, it's Darlene Taylor with Darlene Taylor Murals again. And now we're going to head on to mural number 2. And this is on this awful wall. They peeled off the vinyl and it left kind of a mess, but we're going to clean it up. Even though that vinyl ripped off most of the paint, we're going to use a special primer that will bond to the wall and will make all of this ugly go away. So first things first, let's get to painting, and we're going to use our meta to draw out our image and to make all of this ugly go away. It's going to make all this peel paint go away and all this leftover vinyl go away. We're just going to peel all of this stuff off and paint away. So whenever I use my meta, I always make my image first. I use Wonder AI, and I use it to create whatever people I need or books or items. And the best thing about using AI, you can use any kind of AI, is that you make exactly what you want. So I needed 2 children reading a book, and I wanted to have them to have a light coming out of the book, and I wanted them to have a certain kind of clothes on. And so you can only get that in AI. You can look through all kinds of thousands and thousands of pictures and everything, but it's so much easier just to make it in AI. So that's what I did, and I sent that to my Google Drive, and from Google Drive it stayed in a folder. And when I open up my Meta Contour, that is the program that I use when I use my Meta VR system, I can go directly to my downloads and download it to the Meta and project it to the wall, and then that way I can trace it out. And what you're seeing here is me drawing out that image that I created on and then put it to the wall. And I do mine with paint. Most people like to use chalk, or they like to use pencil or crayon. I just use paint. It's easier to do. And I like using the MetaQuest only because I don't have to make doodle grids. I don't have to use a grid. I don't have to use a projector. I don't have to use any other software where it takes time. It's fast and it's easy. And you just put that line down once. Plus, I can get it to the size that I want. And I can tilt it, turn it, stretch it. I love Contour. Now, I'm also going to be using a new software called Stencil VR. And so I'll be using that on my next mural. But right now, I'm just using Contour. And you can download that on MetaQuest if you use a MetaQuest. I actually got my Meta all secondhand on eBay. If you just want to try it out and see if whether or not it's something that you like, I love it. So I am planning on getting a new version of this. But right now, I'm just using it for the VR mural drawing program. Usually I've used Mural Maker, and I've also used Blend Editor, but this one is the best by far of software that I've used in order to get my sketch onto the wall. And it's the most precise. It works in all sorts of lighting. It works on all sorts of textures and walls at any size and shape. So I can make it as small as I want or as big as I want. And I wanted these children to be life-size. So they're actually the life-size kids. And they're going to have a special background behind them. So I'm going to draw them in. We're going to get everything else in. And then we're going to show what it's all going to look like after I paint it. Right now, I'm drawing a straight line. It's probably the best way for me to draw a straight line, because I'm like those other people. I can't even draw. Like when people come up to me and say they can't draw a straight line, this is how I draw my straight line. So I just want to give you guys a kind of video of the wall that I'm doing for the library. So down there in that dark space is the other the other mural that I did, the first one. And so this is kind of a video walkthrough this morning of the mural that I finished. And I'm finishing today. Finishing it today. So we got some of the books that I like is, you know, James and the Giant Peach, of course, and Clifford the Big Red Dog. You just see Clifford's big nose. Alice Adventures in Wonderland, Time Machine, Little Women, of course, Charlotte's Web, The Fly Guy, ABC books for the little kids, Harry Potter. That is a Nimbus 2000. Of course, the H for Harmony. We got Herman Space Kid. We got the Hungry Caterpillar. We got the big colorful fish. Tells you about how big each little thing is. It's good size thing. I probably take a picture with all of it. Of course, we have our little science girl. I can't remember none of their names because I'm not 4. Okay, there's Where the Wild Things Are, and then Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus, of course, the pigeon. And then we got the Diary of the Wimpy Kid, and then I Love You to the Moon and Back. And then, of course, we have the hidden stuff that's in it. We'll let the kids find the hidden stuff that's in it, because the moon and the mama bear reminded me of some of the hidden stuff that's in it. Okay, the bear and the hare, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, of course, Little Mermaid, Lord of the Rings, Little Mermaid's Fork, of course, Alice, I have Big Alice, Give a Mouse a Cookie, and then next to the mouse, the cookie is Llama Llama. He's got a cup of milk, but you know, distracted by a butterfly, of course. And then we have books of little kids' books of different books that I've read when I was growing up, and when Bubba was growing up. I got a glass globe there. That's for little E, the glass globe. Big book of elephants. We got some peanuts for the elephants. And then we got Cameron and Who. The Who Goes What, that's a book my mom wrote for us when we were kids, me and my brothers. And then we got Rabbit's War, and these like a bookshelf. And so the books are sitting on the shelf with the mouse and the cookie, and then you got crumbs, and there's crumbs. There's crumbs on the books from the mouse and the cookie. And he's asleep. And then of course we have fairy tales with the butterflies, little blue butterflies, little blue fairy for Pinocchio. Bet you didn't know that, the blue fairy. And there's the star. And you wish upon a star. So there's Pinocchio's blue fairy with the blue butterflies and such. That is big. They're reading the art book. And this design in the art book, hidden, is the Dave Matthews symbol, the dancing firefly. But that's just for me. That's one of the things I put into it. Then of course, this is an art school / music school, so of course there's a music book, and then there's an art book. Of course, Jack and the Magic Beanstalk, and there's Jack's house and the little garden. There's the farm, of course, and then of course the lake and the mountains and the beanstalk going up into clouds. And girl, it's supposed to be a play on the giant, so she's like being the giant and playing in the water, because she plays in the water. And then there's of course the little fat cat who plays guitar. I made him Elvis for my friend Amanda, who loves Elvis, and I gave him some tennis shoe platforms and the color, because he's the king. And then we got thing 1 and thing 2, and then we have the little owl. I don't know what the name of the little owl, but there's the little owl. Of course, on the guitar, if you wind it down, it goes to where the plug is. So there you go. There's a wisteria growing up on the end of the bookcase to kind of separate that part of the mural from that part of the mural, just same as there's a hallway separating that part of the mural from the little kids mural down there. So I just put a wisteria for my realism mural. I don't know, the imagination mural. The wisteria is for at Andy's house on Presley. They had this huge wisteria that used to grow up over the driveway, and they had to cut it down when they sold the house, and so that's kind of like my little homage to their wisteria. Well, of course, you know, my little famous little plants that's on all of my plant stuff, and clouds. Of course, you know, I love painting clouds. And then there's Moby Dick for the whale. And then of course there's the flowers, because I love flowers, painting these big old petals. You match the petals down there. Then of course my balloons. You know, I love to paint a balloon. And then we have the black pearl. But then I realized when I was painting this and I was sending it to my friend Jack Sparrow that for the Pirates of the Caribbean, that the sails are white, so I have to make the sails black. It's for the black pearl. But I don't know. I might keep. I don't know. It does have a little dot. That dot is supposed to represent the pirate flag, so it's still a pirate ship. So Treasure Island kind of thing. And then of course the rope is for the kids to hold when they take a picture, so they can hold the rope and hold the balloon. And they can take pictures here for when they do activities or win awards or whatever the heck. And then of course we have the harmony. I have to finish this because I have to write the letters in. That's just the background color, and then I have to write the words in on top of that to color black on top of that. It has to dry. I did have it say the Andy, but they wouldn't get that, so I just wrote the harmony for the school. Then we have the saddlebags on that, and then of course a waterfall. It's got a waterfall, goes down to the river that goes to the ocean. Then the flowers and stuff, and more flowers. I'm finishing off the flowers. I'm cleaning up my edges here. As you can see, this is where I'm clean, and that's where I'm not clean. So you see it's kind of rough up there, but it looks good right there. So that's what I'm doing now, is cleaning this up. Figuring out what's going to go right here. I don't know. But it's supposed to look like all of this is coming out of the book out into the wall, and the girls are reading, and then whatever I'm going to have right there. I don't know. So that explains this mural, all the little stuff. So once I finish this, I had to sit back for about 2 days. I had to go to Fort Worth for a funeral for my sister-in-law, and so, but I'm back on painting now again. So once I get all of this done, then I have this wall here. I was gonna go to this wall, but that ain't happening. Not anytime soon. So the next open space that I have is this space. So I'll be doing this space. I'll start on that tomorrow, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. It's gonna require a ladder because it's taller. I don't like ladders in this kind of flooring because it's slick, but we're gonna do our best. It's kind of quiet in here right now because it's just a few teachers and nobody else but me. And so I'm kind of whispering, talking, and I'm sorry. But there you go. That's the mural. That's this mural. And I'm sorry I didn't do a video walk. I did do a video walk of the other one. I just didn't say anything. And so I hope you guys like this one. I hope your kids, if your kids come to this school, that you like it. Maybe you'll get to see it. If you do some kind of activity up here. I should have something in the fish tank, but I haven't yet. But I did have stuff everywhere else. And so there you go. That's all the little characters that's in the thing. I'm going to finish My swirly medullis, whatever these are, and then I gotta finish these balloons to clean up the black lines around them, because as you can see, the kind of black lines are gone, so I gotta put them back. And then the same thing that I'm doing here is cleaning up my black lines, because I put my black lines in, and then I put my gold on, and now I gotta put my black lines back in. But that's not a problem. So I hope that the kids are gonna love this when they come in and see it. But like I said, it's supposed to look like all of this is coming out of the book. And that's what's in the books. Okay, so I'm gonna see you guys later. It's hot. I think I'm gonna turn on a fan. There's no air conditioning. And since there's no air conditioning, I am going to show you what it looks like when it's all finished. So we have our girls in, and I actually put in small little things like a Totoro on her little pocket. And of course we have our balloons, and we have our story characters, and then of course the whole entire wall has been finished. And I am going to be able to go down to the next mural, which is going to be the entryway, and that one will be a storybook, because they actually changed the windows on me, and so I am going to do something different than what I had planned. Instead of butterflies, it's going to be storybooks and warhawks. So I see you guys on the next one. Remember, subscribe so you can get new updates. Thank you.